Good morning, you beautiful people. How you doing today? It is Paul Carpenter. It is early in the morning. I am drinking my coffee. I am here to say hello to you. I have turned this into a monotone voice so that I could just say hello to you in a very weird monotone fashion. I'm going to stop doing that now. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Oh my God, my hair's all crazy. So, hi, and welcome to another fun episode with Paul and his crazy morning talks on shit. Hi, Dale. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. So, today's message is changing the dynamic of a situation. So, how do we do this? So, a lot of times what happens is, like, when you're in a fight with somebody, the reason that you keep fighting is based on ego, based on the fact that you want to win and that you want to be right. Many times, staying in that dynamic actually stops you from having a real conversation, and sometimes what you need to do is just let it go. Walk away, and then come back to that conversation. Sometimes the conversation never pops up again, and it's just one of those things where you just let it go. And it may be, whatever, sometime later you say, listen, blah, 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 but you have to do that blah, blah, blah part when there is no anger left. Because if you don't, then you just go right back to the same dynamic that you had when you were angry and flipping out at each other, and then you don't actually get anything resolved. So the question is, thank you very much, Joy. So the question is how to change the dynamic. How do you do that? Because it's very hard. I noticed myself yesterday after getting into a bit of oi, Nina, oi. When I got into an argument with my mother yesterday, I realized after leaving, and what is that? What is that? Shit on my shirt and jacket. Anyways, I realized I was very upset, so I left, and I just decided to go do my day, and it turned out to be an okay day. I had a friend of mine who I had told about my issues and problems and was like telling, and like 4 hours later, he was still harping on it, and I was like, bro, let it go, bro. I let it go a long time ago. And he's like, yeah, man, you're right. I am gonna let it go. He was so pissed. I love him. And the reason that he was pissed because he was just protecting. He cares about me, and he didn't want to see me be upset, and he didn't want to see me all sad and shit. So it's very nice that all of you guys, or some of you guys out there, you get emotionally connected to this character that comes to you on a daily. What the hell? Oh my God! Okay. Hold on. I got it. Okay. Whew, that was close. So, changing the dynamic. Okay, there's only two ways of surviving in life. You either survive or you're a victim. That's it. Those are the two things you get. Now, I recently heard someone say, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Because thriving is the only thing nature knows how to do. Nature doesn't survive. Nature thrives. And in essence, we are nature. So why shouldn't we be doing the same thing? So I think there's a lot of reasons for why we don't get to do this thing called thriving. And I think a big portion of that has to do with the fact that we live in a very greedy world. And so therefore, men in general have, over many thousands of years, created a slavery type system that isn't with chains, but it's now just a mental slavery. And I believe that mental slavery stops a lot of people from doing what they believe they want to do. For instance, I have a friend of mine who's watching right now. I think you're still watching. Her name is Dale Johnson. Dale is a beautiful woman, gorgeous, real thinker, right? And she likes to do art, and she does makeup for movies and stuff like that. Now, anybody in her position would say, "Oh my God, I'm giving up completely. I can't do this. This is too hard." But she doesn't do that. She pushes, and she keeps going for the dream. Cheryl, I send you a big love kiss. Hold on, instead of a hug. Mwah! That's for you, Cheryl. That's for you, you sexy, beautiful woman. Hi, Mark. Pleasure to have you again here on my. I'm calling it a show. I don't know to call this a show or some. I don't know what to call this thing, but it's a thing. So thank you. Today we're talking about changing the dynamic, and I started to go on a little bit of a course off to the right, which I do a lot, by the way. And I really was happy the other day. Somebody was like, "Man, sometimes you like start talking some crazy, and then all of a sudden you tie it together." And I love how you do that. So I'm gonna try and do that now. So my friend, what I was trying to get at is my friend. She doesn't need to live this very hard life that she's living based on wanting to have her dream, but she does, because she knows that there's an outcome that is much better than a financial one. And granted, we're all chasing after the money, right? But I believe that you live a better life when you chase your dreams. I believe. I could say that if I look back at my life, I'm happy with the stories that I've created and the things that I've done. I look back and I go, you know what? You are a good man. You don't rape, pillage, kill, sell drugs. I don't do anything crazy like that. I'm just a fucking pot smoker. I mean, come on, So I feel good. It's nice to feel good. It's what I'm trying to say. It's nice to feel good. It's good to feel good. It's nice. It's a nice thing. When you feeling good, it's okay. Anyways, so changing the dynamic of a situation. The reason my friend has this in spades. Why? Because she is changing her dynamic. She knows that there's it's this whole thing. If you are in fear of where you're going to live or what you're going to do, then you'll never live your dream. Because dreams don't come easy. Dreams come at the expense of time and passion and energy. And there's only one way to get to that, and that's through hard work. And I look at all these other great magicians and other people in my life that I look at that are awesome artists, and when I look at them and I follow them on social media, they are non-stop working. Non-stop. Whether it's painting, whether it's putting on the show, with something, non-stop working about that goal, that thing, and whatever it is that they're passionate about. Whether it's a friend of mine whose name is Will Schutz, who does puppetry, or Aaron, Aaron Stringfellow, who's this crazy, amazing artist, and just crazy guy, awesome. Or any of the people who are watching right now. All of you have your own individual awesomeness that you carry and you show to the world, and I'm blessed to have you guys as friends, and blessed that you guys watch me in the morning and take some form of positivity from these crazy little stories I make. So, changing the dynamic. Okay, so let's get into it. You're in a fight. You're fucking full on. Fuck you. Fucking shit. Fuck. You're really pissed off. Right? Oh, thank you, Nina. But it was my pleasure to say hello to you. So let's say you're in this fight, right? You're flipping out. Things are being thrown. And things are being said. Right? I want, at this one point, right when there's a point where you know the fight's gone too far. When that happens, stop. Turn around. Walk the fuck away. That's it. Don't try and be better. Don't try and win the fight. Don't try and I know because of... Just let it go. It does nobody any good. Nor the person fighting, nor the person trying to get their point across, nor the person that's trying to not listen to what you have to... It does nothing, is what I'm trying to say. So when you know that moment has happened, walk away. Come back to it later when the whole energy level is way down here. And then say, hey, listen, I'm really sorry about blah, blah, blah. Please let's not do that. It upsets me when blah, 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 blah. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that anymore. I love you. Thank you for your time and energy. Please, let's move on. That's it. Because otherwise, you're just going to hold on to resentment and anger and, oh, he said, she said. And it lasts for years, man. 20, 30 years later, you say so. Well, remember when you fucking did that shit? You son of a... And you're looking at her like, that was like 22 years ago. You're still holding on to that from 22 years... 22 years ago. I don't know who this is, the story I'm making up right now, but 22 years ago? You get what I'm saying, right? So, and that comes to never letting it go. And you gotta let go. Because in the end, folks, in the end, my friends, my kids, this is a very short life we live. It's very short. And we don't get a lot of it, alright? We only get like 100 years, if you're lucky. If you're lucky, okay, you get 100. But if you're not lucky, you could be dead like 2 weeks into this thing. You could be an African baby with AIDS. I'm just saying, it's not fun, okay? You could be like some kid in Indonesia. You know what I'm saying? You could be like your mother and father were drug addicts and you're homeless in the street and now you a drug addict. Here's a crazy story, since I'm going to get off that. Here's a crazy story. I don't know if you know this story. It's a really good one. It goes like this. Young girl at the age of 13 gets raped and has a child. This young girl turns to drugs, starts becoming a heroin addict, crackhead, does all kinds of crazy shit. Now that child of hers grows up. At the age of 15, that girl gets raped. So in other words, the 13-year-old had a child, and then 15 years later, that child gets raped. What the fuck? Now that child has a child, and that child, the second one, not the third one, the child, the woman who got raped at 15, she one day at around 18 years old, 3 years into her daughter being born, goes up to a mirror, from what I believe the story is, and she looks at herself and she's like, holy shit, I'm turning into the woman that I've hated my entire life. I cannot be this. Woman then goes to college, gets a degree, a master's in television relations, goes to every major television network and tries to become a television personality. They all say no. You're too black. No. You're too fat. No. You'll never make it. You'll never do it. We don't think you'll be good for the American people. Oprah motherfucking Winfrey. Okay? Okay? You get what I'm saying, right? Oh, that's Oprah Winfrey's life. Excuse me. That was Oprah Winfrey's life. She could have easily said, I give up. I don't want to try to do this. I'm just going to go be a crackhead and be a whore, and I could just say fuck it. I got no reason to try, but she did, and now she has her own Oprah Winfrey Network. You gotta love that. Own network. Come on. She went from nothing to everything. She is the richest black woman in the world. She went from being a person who lived in like really shitty neighborhood in Chicago, right down here, to way the... Now, is that going to happen for everybody? Probably not. But you don't know unless you start to give the effort. You don't know. And this little story that I just gave you, that's the fucking changing of the dynamic. Whether it's a moment where you're angry or a moment where you're depressed or a moment where you just don't know what's going on, change the dynamic. Change your way of thinking. Change. And you might say, well, I don't know how to do that, Paul. And I'd say, no problem, buddy. I'm here for you. All right, so how do we do it? All right. So it comes down to these things, and I keep saying these things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, but I hope that you fucking get them in your head, because it's just the way that it works. Thoughts, feelings, moods, actions. Okay? And if you're like depressed, which is an action, change your action to the mood, to the feeling, to the thought. So if you are depressed, let's say you're like in a really bad state right now, you're like, I don't fucking like life, I hate everything going on, I have no money, I'm broke, I'm angry, I don't know what to do with myself. Okay, it's easy, no problem. The first thing you have to do is get dressed. Well, take a shower, because you might be stinky. But then after you take a shower, right? And then after you get dressed, go out to the street. I don't care where you live. There's going to be somebody. Life is all about opportunities, not entitlement. That is the mentality we need to change. Yes, I agree with you, Mark. 100%. There is a huge number of people who are entitled. Although, the outliers of our generation, Mark, are the ones that are, there's a lot of kids that are in this generation that I've met that are really fucked up. And I will totally agree with you. There's that huge percentage of kids from 17 to 35 that don't do anything, that live off their parents, that don't have a job, that aren't trying, that are just smoking pot and fucking saying fuck the world, right? There's a lot of people out there. But there are outliers within that same generational space, from that 17 to 30-something-year-old, that are actually really, really, really wanting to make change. And they are a small group, but they are a group nonetheless. And they are like, and the younger generation, the ones that are like really young, like 8, 9, and 10 years old, man, they are super angry. They're like angry at us. Not us, but like the baby boomers. You know what I mean? They're pissed. They can see like all the problems. Dude, the Great Barrier Reef, like 60% of it's gone, man. 60%. The whole northern face fucked. What the hell happened? I was watching this climate change thingy, I don't know, a bunch of scientists, and they're like, bro, we're fucked. I swear to God, they were. Guys like looks at the camera, he's like, no, seriously, this is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. That I'm not sure we're gonna be able to come out of it. I swear, like, there was no happiness in that man. He was super pissed. But it comes down, once again, changing the dynamic, right? Changing the way that you look at things, changing the way, and it's what I call mental push-ups. I call these things mental push-ups. It's just like working out. It's the same thing, except you're using these mental push-ups in your brain. You're like, and you. It comes down to a certain type of mentality, right? It's a way of thinking, and it's a dual-fold kind of thing. There's a part of you that's going to be very cold-blooded and very hard, and it's like you're a razor. You're like a laser. You're just cutting through shit, and you're cutting through it to get down to the brass tacks of it all, okay? That's business. Business is business. There is no friendship in business. And then there is the philanthropic things that you can do based on you making some money. So, is that making sense to you guys? Did that make sense just now? There's like business and it's cold-blooded and you're fucking an asshole and you gotta just do what you gotta do to make the money. And it's not that's not angry. You're not angry. It's just the way things are. Like, look, man, I bought this for fucking 10 cents and I'm gonna sell it for $3 because that's what people do. I have a profit margin I need to make. I have people I have to pay. I have to sell it for $5 so that I can make money. So that after I buy it for 10. See, there's nothing angry there. That's just the bolts, the nuts and the bolts of the story. Now you can either be a dick and like charge $4,000 for a pill, which is what that one guy did, who's a total fucking prick for people who needed their medicine. But let's pull back. Or you could be a normal human being that just says, listen, I can see where my price leverage is. I can see maybe I'm first to the market, so that way I can make the price point a little higher, so on and so forth. There's little things like that you're just going to have to do that are the cold-blooded things of life. Then after that, once you've made your money, Then you can be philanthropic. Then you can go give fucking money to anybody you want. I don't give a shit who you give money to. Fucking if you want to be a racist, go be a racist bastard and go fucking give fucking money to racist people. I don't care. I mean, I kind of care. Don't do that. That's not nice. But you know what I'm saying, right? At that point, then you can do. But here's the tricky point. When you do, and you do give, you can have no expectations about what you gave. Whoa. Unless you somehow or another write down in some kind of like charter or some shit like that you want this certain thing to be done in a certain way, and that otherwise people don't get your money. And then whatever, okay? Like this whole beggars can't be choosers concept, right? So it's like, yo, I'll give you my money to go start your own business, but I want 60% of your business. And then the person will be like, dude, that's a lot of money for the business that you give me. And I'm like, do you want my fucking money or not? That's business. That's not philanthropic. You see what I'm saying? That's business. Philanthropic is like, yo, bro, I see that you're in a really fucked situation. Here's some money, ding, and I hope that you do something well with it in your life. That's all you can do at that point. Now, if the person goes and turns into a drug addict and like kills themselves, and you gave them all the money, and then they kill themselves based on the money that you gave them, then sorry, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You can only do so much. You can only do so much, and then it's up to other people to actually do for themselves. If they're not going to do for themselves, then why are you going to keep giving to that person? It's the same thing in relationships. If somebody hurts you in the relationship, then get the fuck out. Don't attach yourself emotionally to this thing. The emotional attachment is what's going to hold you back. No offense. I love emotions. I love being emotionally attached. Something negative, somebody hurting you, that's not positive emotional attachment. See what I'm saying? Positive emotional attachment is when someone says, oh my God, listen, you're fucking up and I love you and I don't want you to do that, so I'm going to hopefully make you do this instead, or I'm going to try and give you a different outlook, or I'm going to do whatever I can to make you look different. Oh, okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. The internet live fucking connection, sons of bitches. We were doing so well there for a second, had so many people involved, and we were happy. Please forgive me. It wasn't my fault. I promise you it wasn't me. Damn internet. Damn internet. Okay, so going back to what I was saying about relationships and hurting yourself. So that's the difference between a positive relationship and a negative relationship. It's very simple. If the person hurts you, it's a negative relationship. If they constantly, let's put that into perspective, if they constantly are hurting you, if they're constantly telling you that you're no good, if they're not doing it in a constructive way, then that's not positive. Get the fuck out of the situation. Run. Because what you will end up doing at that point is you will hold on to the little things that make you happy about that person, and you will think that that is the whole thing, and it's not. It's not. See? You see how this works? Listen. Changing the dynamic of a situation is based on you wanting to have better in your life. It's that simple. If you can actually take the time to find out what it is that you really want, so that you can know how it is that you want to be treated, how it is that you want to be loved, how it is that you want what you want, then that's the only way that you're going to get better. If you don't take that time to find out who it is that you are and what it is that you want, you'll never be able to find out how to change the dynamic in your favor. You see what I'm saying? The whole idea of changing the dynamic is to get to a place where you feel better about what you're doing with yourself, with each choice, with each thought. And when you get to that place, then you start to actually see the changes that you wanted to see. Once again, the problems in your life, once you overcome those problems, you become happy. That's how happiness happens in your life. It's not just a thought. It's not just this choice. Because you can choose to be happy no matter what, right? You can. But you won't feel accomplishment and joy unless you actually do something with those thoughts. So, today's little message of changing the dynamic, of saying what it is that I believe you can do to make your life better. Like you make your life better. Alright, listen. I will end it today with saying this, which I say every day, which is, please do something very nice for yourself. Sorry, please do something very nice for somebody else. It doesn't matter what it is. Open the door, look at somebody and say, hi, I love you, you're beautiful, for no reason whatsoever. And if you can't do that, then please take the time to love yourself. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. Tell yourself that you're awesome. Take yourself on a date. Something. And on that note, my friends, I hope you have an awesome day today. It is a gorgeous day outside. It's a beautiful day in Houston, Texas. My friends, I haven't done this in a while. My phone number is 832-323-1497, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. You call me, I answer, I talk. It's that simple. I don't charge for any of these things, but if you'd like to send me some money because you think that these messages and or these things that I'm doing on a daily basis is making you happy in some way, shape, or form, listen, I'll take the money. Paul@JupiterMagic.com. Go to PayPal, send me something, say hello. If it does something for you, if it doesn't, and this is just crap that you're just listening to because you're bored in the morning, then let it just be crap that you're listening to in the morning. I'm okay with that too. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I don't know who's on with me right now, but there's one person watching. Whoever you are, thank you for staying tuned in. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, subscribe. Tell everybody to go to these videos in the morning. And we can make this thing into like this thing. I want to make this thing. I want this number that says 2 right now. I want that number to say like 100,000 K in the morning. And we have like our own little morning talk show that we do every day. And we're like, fuck yeah, we're going to go kick some ass. Take some initials because we don't have time for the names. Have a beautiful day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.